Hello everyone. So we have reached day 5, and if you've been using your crystals to replenish your stamina, you probably have hell unlocked, right? So if you find yourself trying to clear hell and you're stuck like I am, for example, I can kind of inconsistently clear hell 3, but I can't clear hell 4 at all right now. I am a little bit hard stuck. So, if you are in the same boat, here's what you need to do. So if we go and we take a look at our shell bosses, we have up to Nico Nana Hell unlocked, which do drop red shells. Just know on a side note that obviously at Inferno, these shells are going to have a little bit more than they will at Hell level. And also at Hell level, you can get up to 6 matrices on them. So like 3 of each matrice. So for example, this guy can have 3 Swift Rush, 3 Onslaught. So you're looking for something like that when you're farming for your shells of whatever ideal set that you're wanting on your character. However, I will say shells are very, very, very important. Now for Rosa, I don't have a mythic shell in her yet. I still have this guy. And I want you to see what it does to her stats when I don't have it on. So here's her stats right now, right? And let's just replace it with a non-leveled up shell. We'll just do that, right? Now look what it did to her stats. Okay, so that's just a prime example. Like shells are super in-game for you. You need to have your shells equipped and you need to have them leveled up and all that good stuff, because it does give you quite a significant stat boost. Obviously mythic is going to be even more and things like that. So if you're hard stuck, take the time and focus on your shells. Now, White Fang's really good for your attackers. Artisan is really good for characters like Tiamat and Rahu. Gigabyte is good for your healers, but also good for your supports like Lily. Alicorn is also good for your supports and can also be good for your healers as well, or even Tiamat if you so wish it, because of Wellspring here. So these are some 4 pretty solid picks, and don't worry, like, I mean, you still have like the gold ones. The gold ones are still usable. Like, for example, Shanghai is really good for increasing turn meters. So if you have Shadow Sonya, for example, Electro Squid, if you don't have Gigabyte yet, or you're not there yet, this is a good option. Crossroads is really good for characters like Hellkid, and also for Born if you're building Born. This is a really good option for like Freya, for example. So there are some good options. So take the time, farm your shells. I know it's a little bit tedious, but farm your shells, get your shells all ready and set. Because then once you do, they will get a significant stat boost, and I will show you. Let's see. Okay, so I have this shell on my Mio. I wanted a different shell, but this is what we have, and that's okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and level it up, and I'm just gonna show you the stat boost changes. As you can already see right here, the changes. And of course it is very expensive to level up as you go, obviously. But this one. Okay, and I can't actually max it out because I need more training data, which will happen. But like just that alone gave some significant stats, and also we ended up straight off the bat with 2 red effects. So that's something else that you need to know as well, is these mythic shells can actually go up to a red effect, and you can actually check that by going here, and you can check all the status effects that they can have, and it's really, 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 really nice. So something to keep in mind. Like I said, it does give a significant stat boost to them, and it can help them out a lot. So make sure you're focusing on your shells. And also, as you're going through, make sure you're recycling any old shells that you don't want. Like, for example, I'm not going to be using these guys. I'm not going to be using any black flag anymore. Which actually, I'm just going to do this. So I'm just going to recycle all these, which gives me 530 of this back. And we can actually go and we should be able, to get them to 40. So obviously, Awakening's the big thing. Honestly, with the cost of Awakening for Mythics, as you can see, it's 250. Unless you have a lot of extra currency and want to, I wouldn't recommend awakening them yet. Just for terms of like saving currency, because we don't have the 333 unlocked. Like I said, we only have these first two until we unlock Inferno. And being at 4-star, even if they're not awakened, is a good enough stat boost for you that you will be absolutely fine with not having an awaken. Another thing you want to take a look at is your modules, right? So obviously, I still have some golds here, and then I have these pieces, and these pieces I actually didn't get from Doki Doki. I actually got them from our module shop here. So module shop, you get like 200 per each tier that you clear in the hell level, and then you can take it, and it's 200 per gear piece, and it has a chance to either be 3 or be 2. So for example, I'll show you this. So we hit Swift Rush, we hit that, and we actually ended up with a 3. We got a crit rate though, so I don't know where I'm gonna place that yet, but that's just an example. And then you have these sets at the bottom that don't unlock until you're 40. So I would recommend, if you have any currency, because I know especially if you're free to play, you might not have a lot of those points, and that's completely fine. Make sure you're setting aside some of that for when that other gear unlocks at 40. Obviously, make sure you're claiming all your stuff. And getting as much currency as you can get as you go through. Make sure you're doing all your event things like this to help you with any materials you might need, and all that good stuff. And then another thing, if after all that you're still having issues, one of our gear pieces got removed. It's okay. I'll load it back. Anyway. So you can go ahead and take a look at where are we at? Their skills. So like you notice, like I don't have her skill even loaded up. So that's probably the next thing I'm going to do. Make sure you're farming this. Obviously, if you have packs to use, absolutely use them if you want to use them. Also, it goes without saying, because SSR's perfect lattice that you need are more rare to get. Be very careful of who you max up. Honestly, I would say either the skill for your main DPS, like one skill for your main DPS, or your support skill. So for me, I maxed out Lily's skill 1 because it is just too good to not max out. So that's another good example of making sure you basically do that appropriately. And also, you can star up units as you get the materials to do so. I was able to do that with 3 units, but I'm saving the rest of my currency for Hoyan, because I've been waiting for Hoyan for a long time. So, yeah. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're having your skills leveled up. Make sure you farm for those shells. And then after that, farm for the matching gear to the best of your ability. But shells are the most important thing, because they kind of set the tone for all of your gear. Like, this is not an ideal shell. I wish it was 3 and 3, but I farmed so much Gigabyte, it was clear that I was not going to get what I wanted, so I just left it here. Yeah. So, yeah. Just make sure you're doing that, and then after you focus on making sure they're leveled, they're max for their star level, making sure you have their appropriate shell, level up their shell as much as you can, level it up, and then you can start focusing a little bit on gear, and then you should be able to clear those. Because the biggest thing in these higher level challenges, and the thing that I'm actually struggling with right now, is survivability. So that's what I'm having issues with. It's not that I can't defeat him. I have the damage. It's just I don't have the survivability because of the defense down and the nature of his attacks. And it's the same thing with Doki Doki. Doki Doki, I'm actually lacking a little bit of damage. That's a story for another time. But yeah, so Yeah, so there's that. And then Aurora is just a pain in my butt. But I hope that helps. Just remember, like, this is not a race. This is a marathon. It's not a race. You don't have to race up. I know you guys are like looking at Arena Realm, for example. Like, I haven't played a lot today, and like Summit Arena, and you're looking at these guys that are sitting at the top, and you're like, oh my god, like, what am I gonna do? Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. Like, it doesn't matter. You will get there when you get there. You don't have to run. It's not a full-on race. Like, the only thing you could be missing out on by not trying to get this higher is literally just like some rewards, and if you were interested in the tournament, but that's a whole nother thing, right? So don't really worry about it. You'll get there when you get there, especially if you're a low spender or you're free to play. Don't compare yourself to people who spend money in the game. They're not any better or any worse than you. Everyone will get to their destination at the end. So yeah, make sure you're doing that. Also, you can get some extra rewards and anti-sync echoes. I am currently stuck on Born. I hate this guy. Just so you know, when you get there, he is a pain in the butt. We'll get to that later. Make sure you're doing your Ember Trek, your tower. I haven't done a whole lot of it yet, but you do get rewards from there. And make sure you're doing your Phantom Theater to the best of your ability. Obviously, if you don't have a lot of characters leveled up, you know. And then make sure you do your events, which I haven't done those today. But yeah. So that's just to give you a little bit of extra gear if you're struggling with getting gear. Obviously make sure you're also clearing this stuff out as well. Clearing your Leon stuff, which I don't really have cleared yet because Leon's not my focus right now, but like, they'll listen to me. That's bad. Make sure you're focusing on doing that. Focusing on your shell tuning stuff, your module modification things, your arena trials when you can play, and getting all that extra gear. If you're short on materials. But yes, number one right now, if you are stuck, just focus on your shells, focus on getting your character level, and then after that, focus on your gear. And when it comes to doing the module drop stuff, if you're like me and maybe you get to that point and you can clear up the Hell 3 and you can't clear Hell 4, that's fine, because at the very least, Hell 3, you have a chance to get Mythic gear, and when you get Mythic gear, it's guaranteed to have these 3 matrices on it, as you can see. So is it the best? No, because Hell 4 guarantees a Mythic drop every time, so you are kind of like more RNG at that point, because you have like so many sets, and then you also have like the purple set that you have to wade through as well. So yeah, I know that's a little rough, but if you can't get to Hell 4, then if you can at least get to Hell 3 and get to the point where you can farm it more consistently, you'll be in a lot better place. But yeah, focus on those shells. Today, if you are refreshing your stamina, you should be able to get to Sharon. I don't know how much you'll be able to run of Sharon because you only have so much stamina at that point. But Sharon has some good shells like Supernova. If you're running SR Sonya, for example, really, really, really good for that. Dark Moon is good for characters like Marvel if you're running Marvel. Halloween, you can run on characters like Veronica or Shadow Sonya. Then you have Golden Lion, really, really good for those that are going to be applying those effect accuracy, or need that effect accuracy, excuse me. So also you should know to prepare for Sharon. Sharon does damage over time. Yes, Shadow Sonya at the normal and Hell level, Shadow Sonya can fight her and can apply stacks, but in the beta, from my experience at Inferno level, Shadow Sonya can no longer apply her stacks. Like, her resistance is too high. It doesn't say she's immune. It says she's immune to control effects, but yeah, I don't know how to explain that. Like, it says she's immune to control effects, period. Like, even at the lower levels, but you can still apply dot stacks, right? But yeah, Inferno level, Sonya cannot get her stacks applied to Sharon at all. So make sure you have somebody. I think, if I remember right, one of the top clearers in the beta was Rosa for this. You basically need to have a lot of turn manipulation and make sure you can melt her as fast as possible, because the longer you're in this fight, the more damage you're going to take. Yeah. So when we get to where we can unlock Shadowflame Hoyon. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But Shadowflame Hoyon has some good pieces, obviously, that you're definitely going to want as we go on up. But yeah, so that about summarizes that. Good luck on your shell runs. I hope you get everything you need. And I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.